Hello guys and gals, it's me, it's Lonk the Sane. Welcome back to another installment of Ladder Thursday. Before I get into today's deck, I just want to let you guys know I had an article come out yesterday on my team's website, NephilimGG. I will leave a link in the description, you can check it out for yourself. I had competed in the Heartbreaker Bash this past weekend and notched my first ever top 8. Hooray! So I wrote an article about how I approached things, how I prepared for it, what I thought about the competition and whatnot. So you can check that article out for yourself and hopefully you'll get something out of it. So if you're looking to compete, whether it's on the ladder or in a tournament somewhere down the line, you'll be have an idea of how to prepare and you'll help set yourself up for success. Make sure you also check out some of my teammates' content on the website because they've just been crushing it lately. Cool Cat just came out with a video for Mono Purple Shinobi deck. Definitely worth seeing that. Shinobi's, of course, got a huge buff from the latest patch, so that's very interesting. Also, DJ Gray came out with an article, his guide to deck building. For those of you who don't know, DJ Gray has about 500,000 or so decks on mythgardhub.com. That's rough estimate. I could be off on that one, but yeah, very interesting, very in-depth article. And even Mythgard's official Twitter page retweeted a link to that article. So yeah, good stuff on there. You'll definitely learn something from it. So this deck, purple, green, I've been calling it control, but really this is probably more of a mid-range deck. Let's call it controlling mid-range. The lines are kind of blurred between mid-range and control in this game. So whatever. It's a deck that still functions at least. Unlike last week when we played purple-yellow, that deck ended up being kind of a dumpster fire for me. So I was looking for another control-y type deck to try with purple. And unlike yellow, green actually seems to have a lot of synergy with purple. Both colors like to play minions that also like to control the board a bit. For example, you have cards like Bila and Night Hag, which give us some tempo plays. Even Iku Turso is kind of a tempo-y type play. It can lock down the opposing minion until it's ready to attack. And Short Stag, maybe not as tempo-y, but it does give us a bit of card advantage by getting us something back from the Boneyard. It's also, tough to take down. Barring some sort of removal spell, our opponent has to crash at least 3 minions into this just to take it out. On purple side, we have cards like the Jinsuk Dollmaster, which can manipulate the board and also pick off some smaller minions. Master of Shadows as well, which can shut down an entire half of the board. And then there's the Daigoju Supreme, which likes to hop around, spread its damage the opponent's face at the same time. This got a lot better since the patch, since it now has Swift, so it can move over on the same turn and still do some damage. And also Perfect Grade. Probably the hottest card right now in purple. It got especially good after the patch, and I didn't realize when I did the purple-yellow video that you could use its abilities more than once per turn as long as you have energy. So thank you to everybody who pointed that out to me. Definitely helped when I was playing the Heartbreaker Bash to have that information as well. So thanks for you guys for letting me know that. Perfect Grade is also, like I mentioned, very controlling. It likes to keep the lanes clear on the board so your minions can get through an attack. And some of the support we have in here is, we have, of course, the Grand Kolobak. We're trying to ramp our mana, go as big as fast as possible. And we also have Battle Chef and Sword Saint. Battle Chef drops the Walk Shield, which can help protect our minions. Sword Saint drops the Biting Blade, so we can gain some life back. It's a good hedge against aggro. And both these minions are good turn 2 plays. We can drop them out in front of our opponent's smaller minions, make a trade, and then we have an item that we can use on one of our big minions later. 3 Shinobis of Smoke. This card's gotten really good since the patch. It doesn't take retaliatory damage when attacking, so unless our opponent's playing rush minions, can be tricky to take out because we can just move them all over the board, have them crash into our opponent's minions, and still live. Purple also adds a bit of removal, which green is lacking, even though green does have the Traitorous Murmur, which is just amazing card. One of the best in Mythgard right now. But it also adds the Metamorphosis, which is not a direct removal, but a 1/1. It's going to turn a potential threat into not much of anything. So Metamorphosis, good removal type of spell. Also, we have 2 Spirit Aways. We can basically banish something and then throw an 0/3 into the deck. So hopefully when our opponent really needs a card to finish us off, instead they just get a dead draw and feel bad about it. So very good spell. But the most amazing card in this deck has been this by far, Pentacle of Flavors. We give our minion Armor 1, Focus 2, Regen 3, Slayer 4, and Blast 5. And it's really messed up when you get to play this on like an Eco Torso or a Short Stag. You can still get like 500 million damage on the opponent. Again, rough estimate. My estimates are a bit off today. And also, kind of help control the board with it as well. So Pentacle Flavors, excellent card in this deck. And I don't want to go into too much more detail. I would just like to dive in the action, as I'm sure you guys will. So this is a deck that we're going to try to go over top of our opponent. And when I say that, what I mean is we're going to build up to our bigger minions. And when we do, we're just going to kind of outclass our opponent's minions. We're going to go bigger than they are. We're going to stomp all over them. And we're just going to give too much for our opponent to handle. That's what I mean by going over the top, as opposed to going underneath, which is the more aggressive decks that like to play out smaller minions, get in for as much damage as fast as possible, and take out somebody before they have a chance to dig in and set up their defenses. So this is a deck that's going to go over the top. The first game I'm going to show is against Red Blue Aggro. Unfortunately, I didn't do that one live. I just voiced over the replay of it. So we'll take a look at that one, because that'll be a good example of going over the top versus going underneath. And then our second one is going to be a nice grindy matchup against Red-Yellow Control. So we'll see how this deck does in the long game. So without further ado, let's dive into the action. Let's look at this Red-Blue Aggro matchup. You can see our opening hand is a little bit on the slow side. So our opponent is essentially going to be able to go with the getting underneath strategy. Just swing in for a bunch of damage before we can get our defenses set up. And they also have the Strigoi Pup, so they'll be gaining life as they do that. And here comes the Daring Trapezist, so we're about to get smacked for 4. Now I want to burn a purple card here, because Sword Saint, that'll put the Biting Blade in our hand. That will at least block the Strigoi Pup. And of course, our opponent has a Demolition Speedway, so they still get in for 3, take out our Sword Saint as well. And they put another Strigoi Pup right on that Speedway, so looking kind of rough. Looking like the old school red-blue with the Strigoi Pups on the Demolition Speedway. Fortunately, we have a Night Hag, so we can at least pin that down, prevent them from getting in damage. But there's a Panic Raider, so more Rush Minions to contend with. They're also going to draw a card. Alright, Short Stag. It's going to be a couple turns before we can play it, but we need to go over the top of them here, so I'm going to put out the Volkov Heavy. They're going to hit us with the Panic Raider, draw another card, and there's a Wyvern on the Demolition Speedway, so they get in for another 5. We're down to 3. But fortunately, we have the Biting Blade, so we can play that out on our Heavy. Take out the Daring Trapezist. There's Jin Silk. We can take out that Wyvern. So the board is cleared on their side, but they have the Gigantomachia to cut us down. But more importantly, they don't have anything else they can do this turn. So here comes the Short Stag, and that's the site of a corner officially being turned. They don't really have another way to deal with a minion that large, especially like the Short Stag that is also tough to kill. So they're playing away, trying to be as aggressive as they can. But of course, we brought back the Sword Saint from the Boneyard. And our opponent just burned the Leprechaun's Coin. They have the Strigoi Pup in hand, so I imagine their intention was to play Strigoi Pup on the Demolition Speedway, but did not realize they did not have the gems to pay for it. So that's going to cost them a little bit. because we now have the Biting Blade on the short stag, so we'll be able to pad our life total quite a bit here. We'll also play out a Tarragon. So now we're just going over top of the opponent. Their minions can't keep up with ours. Ours are much larger, much tougher than theirs. So we're going to put the Pearl on the Tarragon, put the Pinnacle of Flavors on the short stag, get in for 9 damage with the short stag alone. Then we'll get in for another 6 with the Tarragon. Put out a Kolobok for good measure. Right, there's Wings of Abaddon, so they have to 2 for 1 to get rid of the short stag. But that leaves them with no other answer for the Tarragon, so we're going to get in for lethal and win. And I'll give them a little bit of dab. So that was a good example of going over the top. You saw very early on they got underneath us. Almost were able to take us out, but fortunately we had played that Sword Saint early, so we had the Biting Blade to pad our life total. And then once they cleared our board, we just dropped the short stag, and the Tarragon just completely went over the top of them. They couldn't keep up with our large minions, so we were able to run over their minions and take the game for the win. So nice victory for this deck. Good way to handle aggro is to just go bigger than they are. And let's go back to the live action. And this is going to be red-yellow control. Jun Koro is our opponent. Alright, this hand's not bad. It's happening! I love those Axolotl, or however you pronounce it, those little emotes. So let's burn a green. Say go. Next turn, perfect raid. Play Battle Chef. And probably burn another Raid the Tombs. Play out Shinobi Smoke. So we've got our turn set up. Let's see. So, yeah, I think we stick with the plan. We'll burn perfect raid. Put out the Battle Chef. They're probably going to hit it with Ignition. I'm okay with that. Let's say go. So they play a couple red. Are they maybe green-red? Maybe blue-red? I don't know what to make because they have the Reconstruct or whatever it is as their... Yeah, Reconstruct as their power. Red, yellow. Alright. Don't know what Reconstruct really do there. I don't think the control deck usually plays that anyway, but I've been wrong about these things before. I mean, how many times have I said, oh, I don't know what this is, I don't know what this is, and then like a week later, find out exactly what it is. Or like the day after I'll broadcast something, I'll see, oh, it's this deck. Like, you know, that blue-green canine deck was one of those where I think I said something on stream like, I don't know what this is, and then suddenly I find out the next day that everybody's playing it. Kind of sad we didn't get to ramp at least. But, oh well. Wings of Abaddon? Okay. I think here I burn purple. Play our Sword Saint. We'll draw 2. Metamorphosis, Metamorphosis, okay. Just say go. So I think I'm going to burn one of the muttons next turn. Oh, that's probably why they're doing it. Okay. I mean, that's going to be annoying. So, burn the Metamorphosis. Do I maybe want to keep it? You know what? Wake the Bones can go. We don't need that just yet. Yeah, I think we'll just hit it with Metamorphosis. Turn it into a sheep. Then what? Anything I can do? Nope, nothing else I can do. So let's just say go. So I think the plan is get the perfect grade, but we always have to be careful of Misanthropia. Red yellow is tricky, but it's not impossible to beat, that's for sure. Freaky Huntress, sure. Alright, that's not a bad pickup. So let's burn Shinobi as smoke. I think I actually play the Volclov heavy in front of that. Say go. Olama ring. Alright. Still not going to be quite enough to get in with the Huntress, though. Yep, they're running away with it. So, I think for now we just put the Biting Blade. Do I want a Biting Blade? How much is it? The cloak is only 2, right? It's not 3. Yeah, 2 damage. Yeah, I think we just put the Biting Blade here. Let's get in. We'll gain 6, deal 5 or 4 to the opponent. We'll burn this. Play out Lantern Colossus. So we're just going over top of our opponent. And we'll say go. And very soon we'll be able to get that perfect grade online, which is not nothing. So opponent gets in for 3, that's fine. We're gaining 6, so they can keep whacking away with that one. On the 5. Can they pump out the Huntress? Nope. So maybe I just put a walk shield so we can start regenerating that Lantern Colossus a little bit. Alright, there's the twins. There's 1. There's 2. So we drew a Pentacle of Flavors. But I think we just go for the burn the Sword Saint. I think perfect grade. We can activate its power. What does this work on? Huntress, it also works on the token. That's interesting. So I think we want Morphosis here. We'll use the shield here. That's still going to be... Oh, we can detain it also. So we'll detain there. So now it's not quite enough to be lethal. So we'll gain 6. Get a point through to the opponent. And then we'll just Immolation Cloak here. Say go. So that was one way to take care of a couple twins, huh? Then if they want to stay over there with the Freaking Huntress, we could put the Pinnacle of Flavors. Okay, that's fine. Extract life. Yep, they've got enough. So let's play out the perfect grade. Pass turn. We do need to draw some things now. We are running out of stuff. But we can use his ability next turn, possibly take out that Huntress if they don't have anything else. So our opponent's kind of running out of gas here, it seems. But we still got to watch out for a Sapo. Wouldn't be shocked to see him. Good thing this doesn't have lifelink. Hasn't been able to attack into any of our minions. There's that memorial thing. So let's deal 4 damage here. We'll zap that. Get in for 6. And I think I just hold on to what I've got. We'll say go. We'll draw 2 next turn. They're going to Wonder Drug now at 27. They're really trying to come up with an answer. Alright, but we can just keep zapping that all day. Doesn't even matter. Seal away is good. I think we've got this kind of locked down. Get in for 6. And then I think we just want to play out the Tarragon. Now we'll say go. So this is an interesting build for red-yellow. I don't know if I've seen this before. I mean, it's a lot of life gain, along with a very controlling build, which can be problematic, especially if you can't get underneath it fast enough. But we'll see if our opponent has any answers here. That's a many falls. Extract life. Okay. Unfortunate. But we have Spirit Away. We have all sorts of things we can do. So, do I want the Pinnacle of Flavors? I mean, it does give us focus too. I don't think so. I think we just want to Master of Shadows right here to block that lane. I think we hold on to the Pentacle for now. But let's just do 5 to the opponent. We'll say go. So with all this life they gained, they did buy themselves a whole lot of time. I'll give them that. Okay, fine. I mean, I think we just attack here. I mean, 1 damage I don't think is going to make much difference in the long run. Let's get in for 5 more. Let's play out a Gamayun. Start fixing our draws. Raid the tombs or Night Hag. We have a Night Hag in hand, so I think I'll just take the tombs. And we'll say go. And if they want to keep playing stuff on those two squares, we can put the pedicle on the Gamyune, which has the, it has agile, so it can just hop right around whatever they're playing. So we've kind of gained control of this board. Let's see if we can keep it. The only problem is if they have the Misanthropia, we don't really have a good recovery plan at the moment. Hopefully getting a Raid the Tombs will fix that. Yep. Kind of expected to see that. So, what do we draw next? Tarragon? Sure. And then let's Raid the Tombs. Then we'll burn the Kolobok. Do I just blast that thing? No, I play the Eco Terso because they're just going to put something even bigger on that space next turn then. So I don't even think we Pinnacle of Flavors just yet. I mean, Pinnacle of Flavors on Iku could be nuts. Because of the Slayer, it'll get in for a bazillion damage. And I should have waited to use a Gamyune after I did the card draw. That way I could set it up for next turn, but oh well. Hopefully we'll get something sweet. Okay. I hope that means they don't have anything. Enchant Eater, not worried about it. Alright, so this is going to get nuts. Let's put Pinnacle of Flavors on the Iku Terso. So we're getting in for 15 in one shot and taking out 2 minions. Yeah. I don't know if our opponent's going to have a good answer to that. I don't know if anybody's going to have a good answer to that. So let's play out this. We have the Deported if need be. We can play a Sword Saint, give it lifelink if we need to, but I'm not too worried about our life. So let's pass the turn. Our opponent's thinking. I mean, that was a hell of a hit from Iku Terso. Maybe I should have given lifelink, because then we would have been up to, what, it had 16 power, so we would have been up to 42. There's a Sapo, so there's an answer for it. But fortunately, we have answers of our own. So let's get in for 3. We'll spirit away that Sapo. Then we can burn something, say the Night Hag. Play out the Tarragon. And say go. Magmatar, sure. So if we do 6, 7, yeah, we've got enough. So let's just pump up Tarragon. Get in for 6. Give him a thumbs up. And we did it. Red yellow control. We went toe to toe. We got in a massive blow with Iku Turso. And that was a good example of using our minions to control the board. I mean, we had the perfect grade that did just that. We had Eco Turso to lock down their minion and then just blast through with the Pinnacle of Flavors. So a lot of fun stuff going on that one. So good control matchup, and we came out on top. Always good to see. Now, my final thoughts on this deck. If you guys couldn't tell, I am very, very, very high on this deck. This deck has been my main ladder deck for a little while now. Overall, I am 21-6 on the ladder with it. So I'm winning 3 out of every 4 matches with it, which has helped me climb up into high gold, getting ever closer to Mithril. So yeah, I think this may be the deck that carries me through the Mithril. So far, it has performed remarkably well. I haven't kept this close track as to what I'm winning and losing against as I have done with like red-green. I don't know why. I just haven't played that close attention. I know 2 of the losses were against Reanimator decks. For whatever weird reason, this deck does not seem to do well against Reanimator, despite having cards like Metamorphosis or a Spirit Away, which could deal with a Hopeless Necromantic. But aggro can also be a little bit tricky for this deck. If we get off to a slow start, we don't have a board wipe to wipe the slate clean and get back into the fight. So if we get off to a bad start against aggro, this deck can lose. But, you know, I guess you could say the same for any mid-range or control deck if you get a bad start against aggro. So overall, I'm very confident with this deck. It does well against mid-range. Red-orange, Heaven and Hades, this has a very good track record against. There's only one loss that I know of against red-orange, and that was because we got off to a slow start, and red-orange got off to a very fast one, and I just couldn't catch up to it. And as you saw against red-yellow, this is also plays a good long game. It can keep throwing out threat after threat. So, you know, this is good against control decks as well. And one change I'm thinking of making to this deck, one card I overlooked from the start is the Bald Mountain. I don't know why I didn't think to include it, but the more I play, I've seen other purple-green decks using Bald Mountain. I should throw a copy in here somewhere. Not exactly sure what I'm going to cut. Probably be one copy of the Detained, so I can squeeze it in there. We have enough 2-drops in here. We can easily fit in another 4, so I'll probably cut a copy of that to put in the Bald Mountain. But yeah, give this deck a try for yourself. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised with how well it does. Nice combination of control-y big minions and Stompy big minions, so we can put out a lot of threats, go over the top of our opponents, and we can run a lot of decks over. So let me know what you thought of the deck in the comments below. Have you tried purple-green before? What do you think I should cut to put a Bald Mountain, if you think I should put one in there? Personally, I think I should. It'd be nice to get a Trader's Murmur back once in a while. But yeah, let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. As always, hit like and subscribe. Always good to have new fans of the channel. And I will leave a bunch of links in the description below, of course, to the deck list, to my article, to Nephilim GG's website and whatnot. So, yeah, Purple Green, excellent deck. Hope you guys give it a try. And that's going to be all from me today. So I will see you guys next time.